Hi, this is BB. And oh, I wanted to show this. I have this hat right here. Now look at the hat, right? Notice something about the hat. Notice this part here. This is what my head is on my head all night. It's fine, right? It's on one color. This part right here, the part that would be like turned up, is all discolored. It's all white. Could it be what I'm saying, that chlorine gas all night? See my face, I look like shit this morning. Here. It's all the way around. It's not just partial, it's all the way around. The whole hat, all the way around. But this part is fine. So I'm not sure. Could it be the chlorine gas that they're pouring? This morning it was right now I can feel it, and it's burning my eyes. My face looks a little. It's not so like it was yesterday. It just balloons up. One of the things I've noticed, and I noticed this, was the person that I keep referring to as she and her. This was back in like 2018-19, when she was my neighbor. I think a boyfriend used to come in, and he was kind of big, beefy guy, tall, beefy. But then he would look slim one day, and then he would look big another day. And I thought to myself, I said it out loud in my house, does this guy have edema all over his body? What's wrong with him here? Slim one day, beefy the next. Slim one day, beefy the next. But then, you can't swell all over your body like that. You cannot. In certain areas, maybe. Like they're fucking with my intestines, my pelvic area. And my gut is, well, it's a phenomenon right now by itself, which I can, how does that look for me? I could go to a gym. I'm exhausted doing absolutely nothing. I'm exhausted all the time. The emotional stress on this, it's just, I don't think people understand that part. Even I don't understand it. I think I'm just being lazy. And it feels sometimes like I don't understand it. It feels like I'm being lazy. But I'm just, I'm just saying. I also have to look, the guy was coming in and he was big and beefy one day. So I am not sure if they were using me for something. Because they know that I was observant. I thought I had a thing for her, and I was observant, and I mean, my house was facing the front of the yard. We're facing everything, including her little cottage. So I didn't have a choice. If I stood at my door or I stood up in my house, the only place to look at was outside, was where they were. So I noticed it. Also, the landlord had asked me at the time to keep an eye out. The landlord trusted me to make sure the lights were off, the gate was locked, stuff like that, the garbage, stuff like that. He even offered me he's going to take off $50. I said, no, you don't have to. I live here and I can do these things. And so I used to check sometimes. I hear the gate open, whatever, and I thought nobody was home. It's quiet, you're just doing, protecting yourself and the other people. Because I had no idea of knowing who was going to open the gate. Not to say, well, I was stalking somebody. I was in my house too. Because I don't understand. I was always in my house. It's not like I was outside doing anything. Like being belligerent to somebody in the face or knocking on somebody's. I didn't do anything. See, I'm racking my brain still to find out what is it that I could have done that might find, well, like I did this. So, but then it doesn't matter what I could have done. or might have done, it still doesn't. This here is no. This here, because I don't understand any of this. I just don't. My eyes are burning. But again, the guy's body was, so I don't know if I was being used for something. To say, well, you know, maybe he was being targeted as well. If he was, well, another thing is, the week of me moving out, or a week and a half before, I think it was a weekend or something, I heard this woman and her boyfriend in the yard talking something about microwave and looking around her house. Looking for like some kind of microwave. I heard that. She even came over to my cottage and I had a lemon tree and she was shaking the lemon tree. Or he was, I don't know. If they were looking around my house as well. If they wanted to say something to me, they should have fucking said so. If they wanted to accuse, see, I had no idea about these things. Why the fuck would they come to my house? Did they go to the other house? I don't know. They were talking about I heard that. They set me up because she like a dog with a bone now. She feels threatened, whether it's real or imaginary. She just wants someone to fucking torture. She gets off on it. You could tell her I have chewing gum stuck to the bottom of my shoe, and that'll be a detriment to her and her man, and she'll come charging at you. Because this is what she excels in. This is what she does. Her man has no conscience. He's a bad motherfucker. No conscience. And if he's in any type of the military, any branch of the military, which I'm hoping he is, I want to see what the fucking US government is going to do. I want to see what they'll do. Because this woman, she will not leave me alone. I don't know what's her deal. One of the things that I'm worried about here is if they are using these satellites. If they're using satellites, I don't know how the fuck satellites would do this. Or is it, I don't know what they're doing. Where is this energy coming from? I don't know. What if these people are tearing holes in the ozone layer with it? I know it's technology. What if they're tearing holes in the ozone layer? This bitch, if this goes to trial, I hope she doesn't come near me, even in a fucking courtroom. She should not come near me. Even in a courtroom, she should not come near me. I had respect for this woman. I had a lot of respect. I spent months trying to build her up and make her stronger. Because I thought she was being abused. That was on me. It was unsolicited. She didn't owe me anything then. She doesn't owe me anything now. But I certainly don't deserve this either. The reason I mentioned that was that I had respect for her. And now all I want to do is punch her in the face. If someone came after you for 2 years, even if it was your mother, you'd feel the same way. Even if it was your mother who gave you birth, you'd feel the same way. You might not hit her, but you'd want her taken down and taken out of society where she gets help. But I begged this woman. I went on my knees and I begged her, please leave me alone. I did some things because she said she would leave me alone and she did not. To myself, that is, not to anyone else. She wouldn't. I don't know what's her deal and what she's going to claim or what she says. I'm ready. I'm prepared for anything. Because I'll get back into myself as long as this stops. It won't take me long, but a couple of days or 2 or 3 days to get a good night's sleep, and I'll be back on track with everything I have. I live to build people up. I live to make them stronger. This is what I do. This is what makes me feel good. One of the things. I know I said that, and I know it bothers me now because it sounds like I'm trying to say, well, I spent my time building her up. That means something. It doesn't mean anything. It just meant I respected her, and now look at how the tables have turned. I want to punch her in the face. I helped a lot of people. It doesn't matter as long as they got what they wanted out of it. But I just have this thing where I feel a little, because that's the empath in me. This is how it works. We're always analyzing and judging, and God, we get this. How we appear to people and how people must think about us, how stupid we sound, how ludicrous we sound, how hypocritical we sound, stuff like that. But it happens. But the thing is, I don't know. I would have to ask Kevin about that. If he thinks that that's a possibility, they could be tearing holes in the ozone layer, and the government is not aware of it. In California, I saw a short here on Facebook or YouTube or somewhere where an aurora borealis showed up. How the hell does that happen? A big one too. That's where the ozone layer is thin. How the hell does that happen? In California? Well, I don't know. I'm worried about that. And that may be a thing, I don't know. Because I just don't understand what this is, and I'm worried about other people too. Because they're treating me like I'm some kind of like I need to know my place. They would use other people. If you're an empath, use other people to to contain you, basically. Imagine this whole thing happening here, this whole thing happening here, whole thing happening here. This whole world of all this nonsense that can be avoided, completely avoided. This is not like some destiny or something that's has to happen, like the sea, the river meeting the ocean. That's something that has to happen. Or the sun shining or the rain falling at some point. Or it's night or day. These are things that that has to happen. Or if you jump out the window, you hit the ground. These are laws that are static. They're real. These are things that do happen. These things that are happening here are completely unnecessary and extremely cruel to people. And it's hard to believe that one human being is capable of doing this to another for so fucking long. And she thinks it's funny. She has her own agenda, she's working something over. Because I don't understand what this is. But anyway, you guys have a good Sunday. A good Saturday, and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.